Hey everybody, how's it going?
It's been
How you
long.
doing, Samuel?
It's been a long week getting from there to here. It's been a long road. Uh, but Stuart, we expected as much. I don't think we expected as much. You know what? I'd rather be busy out the wazoo talking about cool Star Trek stuff than have nothing.
How you doing, Samuel?
I'll be honest with you, Stuart.
This is true. This is very true. Yes. But yeah, damn.
Uh-huh.
Well, to talk about, and there's so much more to come. I'm sure.
Yeah, this is. I would
That's
say
okay.
this is the eye of the storm. Because if San Diego Comic Con was one set of news and then a little break, or Trekyards reports, and then a weekend, and then back in Vegas, and but no, we've had nine edited videos this week, and 4 lives plus 3 over the weekend. So a ton of stuff. Thank you guys for joining us. We had a tremendous response all week. Uh, Amazing comments of people suggesting theories, all sorts of cool things, and we hope you guys have had fun joining us.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun for us. Like we said, been busy, but it's been also kind of breakneck. Well, we got something else to talk about. Oh, something else to talk about. So,
Yep, I
and
literally didn't
today's
do
just kind of a
anything
wrap.
else in my life, editing wise, any other work until today that isn't this. So it's been, yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of hours.
yeah. Yeah, and today's just kind of the wrap up of that. The talking
Yes.
about the Tarantino movie a little bit from the little snippets we've heard,
Yep.
and also looking at the few Discovery pictures that were leaked. I'm sure we're gonna get more Discovery news
Well, you say
from
leaked.
Vegas.
They were revealed. They weren't leaked. I mean, that's
I didn't say leaked.
you did.
I didn't say leaked.
You
No, I
look
didn't.
look at the live stream. You said the ones that were leaked. That's okay then.
That's not what I said. It's not at all what I meant. So, Steven puts in $1. Um, but yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get a lot more Discovery news in Vegas. But they really put Discovery on the back burner. Picard is definitely first and foremost in people's minds. So.
And of course, Jeff Jacobs put $5 before the live stream started. Have fun, all.
Yes.
I'll be in and out of a cell coverage, and I'll try to listen all I can. I'm really, really excited. We have so much Trek to discuss. Well, that's I think an interesting thing though. Discovery has been the well, I'll say cream of the crop in somewhat of a it's the only thing of the last 2 years, and obviously the 6 months before that. And it's amazing, watching the San Diego panel, which had Seeker Martin Green, Ats Kurtzman, the new showrunner. Well, I can't remember her name is Stephanie, maybe. I can't remember her name. Sorry. And then the new actor, and the panel was, I think, 25 minutes, and it was split between Discovery season 3 and the short treks where they brought out Ethan Peck and Rebecca Romaine. So they had about 7 minutes of Discovery season 3 talk discussion, despite it being their flat. So I found it really fascinating the lack of anything, despite that has been the thing that's been keeping them going for 2 years. I wonder what that means, Stuart.
The Discovery, they realized that Discovery's kind of hit a brick wall, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully it gets better, though. Now that they're kind of outside the canonical timeline, like in the future, they can do whatever they need to do. That's fine.
Because hopefully they won't have any big universe events. So I was like, well, shit. Now Teleprime gets destroyed in 2857. Because they can now invent future canon that they. Well, I guess you could say Picard and stuff can change the timeline if they change. Because if once we're in the future, if everyone goes back and changes things before that, then those events won't necessarily happen. Because now they're locked into the future from that point.
Yeah.
And because they went into the past during the Discovery era, anything that happened in TOS, TNG, Voyager, all those time events would have changed things after the fact. So this future we're seeing is only the future from the perspective of Discovery.
Yeah.
But you have all these other times of already evolution. So it's almost I don't think they realise actually how nonsensical their future even is. It's unlikely that future even they'll call it canon, but doesn't even it's like Endgame happened, they changed that future. So if anything, if this future was the Endgame future, and then they changed Endgame, well now the entire universe is different because Borg got destroyed. Were the Borg destroyed in their universe? Because you can't just say, well, it's always going to happen, it's going to happen. It's like, no, you changed your own president because you wanted Control to be destroyed. Boy, they didn't think it through, did they?
No.
Wow, I just realised how stupid that season 3 plot is. I just realised. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, Stephen puts in another $1. Thank you very much, Stephen.
Steven, man. things they need to say is another parallel universe, like it's a split in the road, like Back to the Future. This is now our future. That it should. I said before, it should end with season 3. Have a story with these characters that's not even really about Trek because it's in the future. Have them all stay there. End the story. Although I say the story has been changing every year. There's been no Discovery story. It's been like, here's a story, here's another story, here's a third story. It's like the Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and then Rise of Skywalker. 3 completely different stories with 3 different filmmakers. They didn't have any connective tissue really. Yeah. Not a good
Dan
show.
23 says, "What is Discovery set in?" LOL. I would say the trash bin. Oh wait, did I say that? No, it's set in like 10 years, 9 years before TOS starts, and then now they're 900 years in the future. I've heard 1,000. I've heard 900. I don't know.
It went wrong. They gave a specific date.
Yeah.
And I'd sort of I have some news articles open for this. I think it's like 20. I think it's like 3123. It's like 930 years.
Yeah.
It didn't go right.
Well, I mean, we saw these pictures.
Yes.
A few of them. That.
There we go.
That's incredibly frustrating when you're perfectly fine. Usually I can tell when I die because you freeze, but that's okay. I was just saying, it would be nice to bring Kraft back from Calypso.
Yes.
But no, we got a character that looks exactly the same pretty much. Wearing the same kind of clothing, same kind of gear, and his name is Book. I forget his full name, but the short form is Book. So we got Book and we got Kraft. I would like to see Kraft come back. I'm sure he will at some point, but yeah, we got Book.
We got in the Discovery Season 3 panel for all 7 minutes of it, we learned about the short treks of Season, I guess 2, I guess Season 1 really, 1.5. He said, "So guys, now they're all done, did you worked out they're connected, some are connected to the show. You didn't know that, did you?" And it's like, I mean, yeah, what? But that implies that no, not all of them are. So I actually I almost think they didn't think any far ahead, because they definitely didn't have, they had no idea they're going to the future when they wrote the Craft storyline. If that was filmed,
I think they did.
Well, if that was filmed at the start of Season 2, because no way they had the we're going to the future plot when they started making Season 2. That was obviously changed, like, when Kurtzman took over after the first 4, they were like, shit, we need to go do something else. You can tell that they swapped course. Because, you can tell, because the last 5 minutes is like, there's no reason to go to the future now. But we need to, because the future of the season, like, you can tell is just like an add-on to make a new season with no other ideas. So I'm if they even had a... Yeah, it's a whole thing. I'm looking forward to reading the book in 30 years. The non-official... non-edited version where it's not redacted, read the memo Kurtzman saying to the team, right guys, I know this was the ending, but I want to change the entire last 4 episodes to this, and they're like, but Alex, that will completely ruin 7 of our teasers. Oh, it's fine, no one got them anyway. It's like, oh, so you just want to sort of reset? Yes. Oh, well, I mean, okay. But I want to add 7,000 more drones. That'll make it more interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think one of us said this. I think you said this could be like the grandfather of Craft.
I don't think I said that.
You said this had a relation, one of the 2 ways round.
Well, I think they're contemporaries. I think Kraft is the same time period, but we don't know that for sure. So
I think Kraft's like 2900s and he's like 3100s. Well, the fact that it's not 1,000 years in the future means they might have retconned themselves back into Kraft's time just to kind of make it easier. I don't know, but if the Discovery is in that time period, does that mean then this is before the short, and then the short happens? Do they abandon the short in this episode? They said Discovery would be there for 1,000 years, so that doesn't make sense either.
Nothing makes sense.
No.
Yeah, the only thing that was really stated was that Discovery was on its own for 1,000 years, and the artificial intelligence had a chance to evolve. So they get sent almost 1,000 years in the future, but the ship still has to be on its own for 1,000 years. So
I wouldn't be surprised if that short gets retconned out, honestly. Because they want to destroy the ship, they want to do something with the ship. It's like, well, we can't refit the ship, we can't destroy the ship, we can't damage the ship. Oops. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
You cut out there. I didn't hear what you said.
Wouldn't be surprised at all if that short gets retconned to not be canon.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would just be silly, but...
Well, otherwise they can't destroy the ship, they can't damage the ship, they can't, they can't do the things.
Well, destroy the ship. There's going to be a way for them to get back to their own time, but they can't take the ship with them. So they're going to evacuate the ship, take the people back, and then say, we might be able to bring the ship back. We're going to set the ship to wait here, and we'll try to get it back with us once we get back there. And then it finds out they can't bring it back. So the ship's just been sitting there waiting for them to come back. So that was its orders, to wait for them to return.
Yeah.
And 1,000 years later, still nothing. So that's kind of the vibe I get. They can get the people back, or most of the people back, but the ship can't go with them.
Wouldn't it kind of make the season 2 finale anticlimactic? Because, like, they didn't need to go to the future anyway, and they get back from the future anyway, and it's like, well, what was the point? What was the point?
Well, maybe they don't get back to their own time. Maybe they get thrown back
to Picard.
Close. Or like 600 years in the past. Or to Picard. Oh, good God, no.
I mean, to be fair, that's, if you want to force melding, although Patrick was asked, are we going to see Discovery and Picard crossovers? And he was like, I mean, I think there are different times, aren't they? And Brent was like, yes, I was in the 24th century.
Yeah,
So he didn't. Patrick didn't sign off on that cameo crossover, so we hope not. Yes, we have 3 pictures, Stuart.
Yes.
Time suit on a dirt bit. New character in jacket, and Jacket Man and Michael Burnham in another jacket on place.
So what I think happens here is they get thrown into the future, and because the ship is separate from Michael Burnham, she lands on this planet. The ship gets put somewhere else and needs to find her. So she's going to be on her own. She's going to run into this guy, and her goal is to find the ship now. But she probably doesn't have any power for the suit or something. We need to find a power source, perhaps. So, and then at the other side of that coin is Discovery's going to be trying to lock onto her suit signature or whatever.
Yeah.
So the ship and her are going to be separate. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can glean from this, to be fair.
Well, I mean, did you watch the panel?
I did not.
You basically summarized what they revealed. So well done.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That just because they went to the future together doesn't mean they'll be in the same place together for a bit. That they're separated and they got to find each other.
Damn. Okay.
Although it's interesting. The one biggest takeaway I took from season 2. I mean, we all have problems with Michael Burnham character being who she is, but season 2 was far better at Michael Burnham because she had an equal. Whenever she went off with Spock, she had an equal who she could, it was a very focused like side story, and she was pretty good as a 2. She's not good as a primary, as the center of attention, but she's good as part of a team. And because she wasn't on the ship crew were better and had more focus and more character and seemed better. And so clearly they said that worked. She's not good to be on the ship, so let's put her with this guy. We'll try and build another chemistry like we did with Spock, and let the crew be themselves for like 5 episodes and have a great pulling together. But that worked so much better than Discovery season 1, so I think they're kind of going for that vibe again.
Yeah. Eugene puts in 1,000 rubles. Thank you very much, Eugene. 4th time, please spare Jeff. Well, Jeff isn't here. He's got things he's got to do. He's going to check in when he can, but he's not here. He just dropped an early super chat and took off.
So he's allowed a night off, and we love him. We love you all. You all join us for the insanity. The insanity.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to share as well while you read that.
You didn't share yesterday's, eh?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that was the one you didn't share. You didn't take a time out from me up in the beginning to share it. I never saw it shared.
Pretty sure I did.
Anyway. No, I know you didn't. That's okay though. Not a big deal. Stephen Fathry puts in $5. Giorgio might come back in time on the Discovery. She has to get back for the Section 31 show. She can park the ship and leave it for the Discovery crew. That's an idea. That's a good idea. Get her and the ship back, then yeah, have the ship in a pre-selected spot where the crew 1,000 years later will find it and be able to come home. Maybe
it's
I like
smart,
that idea.
but unfortunately, if she's gone 1,000 years behind, which is theoretically around the same time period, and she's leaving it, then she'd actually actively leave the ship with lots of great resources for the crew in the future. She wouldn't leave it with one broken shuttle and nothing else. I mean, you know what I mean? You would do something. It'd be very.
Unless it gets found and raided by pirates or scavengers or something.
I mean, then you're forcing more things that you know what I mean. That's not a good story. It feels so it can't be intentional, because otherwise it's like, what an irresponsible person. She thinks of Michael like sort of a daughter, so to not even bother giving anything. And Craft would find everything on that ship. You know, he spends weeks and months. He's just gonna walk around looking at stuff.
Well, maybe her and Burnham come back together with the use of the time suit and the ship. She can get them back, but something happened to the crew. They have to stay there. Who knows? I mean, you can definitely work that kind of thing in. Her and Burnham get back, but the crew don't.
Which makes it even more annoying, because the crew only went for her.
Yeah, I know.
So her going back is completely.
I'm just trying to work it out how it would work, but.
Put this way, they don't know. They wrote these things not knowing what they're going to do with them. They had no idea. You can tell. Sorry, Alsha.
Let's see. Discovery cast wants a crossover with Picard. Well, hopefully that won't happen. Tricorders by Apple. That's funny. But yeah, guys, if you want to support the channel, like we say every time, check out the description to all of our videos. We got links down to the PayPal. We got links to our Patreon, links to our website. We got lots of cool stuff. We got a lot of ways for you to get cool Trekyards merch, as well as save yourself some money on Eagle Moss ships and things like that. So check out all the links down below. If you want to get your voice heard during these lives, one of the best ways is super chats. They're a great way to keep the channel kind of going. We're really enjoying the lives with you guys. So drop a super chat in there, or send us a PayPal and let us know in the chat that you've sent to PayPal, and we will read your question or comment that way as well. But Aravid Sonder puts in $10. Hi from El Paso, Texas, where Roddenberry was born. We don't get too much Trek here, but there is a planetarium here in his honor, and the cast of TNG regularly comes to our Comic-Cons. Live long. I made a movie about Gene Roddenberry's life. The title just writes itself, The Great Bird of the Galaxy. I think that'd be a fantastic movie, or even a made-for-TV movie or miniseries about Gene Roddenberry's life and the creation of Star Trek. I think that'd be awesome.
Or a documentary with Shatner again, because he did several.
Yeah. It's probably CBS just not agreeing to things like that, unfortunately. But that would be awesome. I would love to see that.
Yes.
Thank you. Who says thank you? What?
I said thank you to the super chat.
Oh, thank you to the super chat. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where Discovery's going to go. I do like that they're in the future now, and I think we're going to get more of an Andromeda vibe. Federation no longer exists, or the Federation is in shambles, or just a memory, and now they've got this crew here that needs to, stop a war or something. Something's going to happen like that. I always think about Andromeda and just think, what if it was Kirk and the Enterprise instead of the Andromeda and Senate, and because reestablish the Federation, go start creating the new Commonwealth, the new Federation. You could definitely do it. It's definitely interchangeable, but I think that's what they might be going for, to be honest.
Well, one thing they said in the trailer is that they were going for Terralisium. They did not get to Terralisium. That's not where they land. I mean, it makes sense. Burnham, although I was about to say, it makes sense. Burnham can't fly a time suit, but she did fly a time suit 5 times in 1 minute earlier. They don't care about Canon, whatever. But Terralisium was another quadrant. So if they were smart, which we know they're not particularly smart in terms of writing common sense stuff, to not do it, because they said there's a Canon shake-up. But as I've said before, going into the future is risky. If you go too far in the future and then this team says, yes, the Federation was destroyed in 2950. Well, fuck, that's canon. You know? And what happened to the relativity? Like, all these things. Whereas if it is in another quadrant, and the ship's so damaged, and that quadrant Federation never made it there for whatever reason, just let it be, well, Voyager, Lost in Space, its own thing. Like, Discovery was never about Star Trek, it was about the crew and Burnham. It was never about Star Trek, ever. So let it be its own thing, doing a thing in another quadrant, in another part of the timeline, where it doesn't matter at all. And then it might be a really good show, you know?
In its own reality, its own dimension. You say, well, shit, now that's canon, but it isn't. I mean, if you're crossing through a wormhole, who knows what could happen? Yeah. First of all, the Discovery universe, in my opinion, is the Discoverse. It's its own thing, separate from the Prime. Yeah. But, yeah, they could go anywhere, literally. So it could be an alternate future, as we've seen many of. So I have no real issues with them kind of saying that, the Federation was just dismantled in this.
That's true.
You know? Because many different futures can unfold, so.
It's true. They're not that smart a writer to get that. And they want to leave their own mark in the primary canon despite the weirdness of how they're doing it. So I just think if they've got the holdovers of what they've got, but I think it's just much more interesting than they kind of got what they wanted all along, which is not make a Star Trek show, just do a sci-fi adventure where you have an inbuilt fan base, so you don't have to actually make a brand new show, because a brand new show is hard to market. Of course, with Star Trek, you're going to get millions of people. Make it not like a Star Trek show, but call it Star Trek. Well, I mean, this is now the season to do that, you know.
Yeah.
Although sort of sad we lost the best bits, which was Spock and Pike, which is sad. But I've seen this actor who plays this new guy in Supergirl, and he has a bad English accent. He's sort of comedic. He's fun, but it's like, that's what you think of English people, eh? Jeez. And he's a bit of a dick, but he's like a fun dick. So I think he'll do a good job here. I can see him very much being cast for that. That was his last big project, and so while casting, that was his last thing on his resume. So that would be fresh in Peel's head, and he looks identical to that version. So I think he'll be a fun, wisecracking kind of like, you know, hard-ass joke person, you know, living in a dark future. Kind of the opposite to Spock in a sense. Like Spock, Burnham was very much could overpower Spock in terms of personality because it's, you know, Spock. But this guy I think might be like be able to banter with her in a really strong way, and that could be much, you know, fun because I mean, you know, you write good lines with people and you can have a fun story. But clearly they're in some sort of like dystopian, you know, here's my old coat because, you know, this world is bloody uppy.
Yeah. Well, we have 182 people watching, so guys, everybody make sure you're subscribed, hit like, and make sure you click the notification icon as well, because we are going to Vegas next Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, and we're going to be there for a week. We're going to have some cool stuff. They're going to be releasing some new stuff, so we'll have lots to talk about. So if you want to make sure you get all that, subscribe. And we got some super chats. We got Aaron Unsfi. First super chat for me. Oh, sweet, $5. First super chat for me. Have some extra money to provide. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And it's UNSFE, not unsafe. Is. Aaron. Oh, the last part of his name. Okay, gotcha.
Thanks, Aaron.
Gotcha. I hope I said it right.
Any favorite shows we've done? Is it your first live? Have you just suddenly joined us? Are you like a new subscriber? Let us know. Welcome.
And everybody's saying smash the like, make Jeff pay. Jeff's not here, man. Jeff's got things to do. He said he might check in once in a while, but yeah, everybody still hit like. We'll try to get those likes up. Hellrats96 puts in $10. Thank you very much. Hey fellas, late as usual. I think we should call it what it is. They're in the 32nd century because it finally gives them the freedom to do whatever they want. No canon to contain them. Canon with two ends. Canon only has one end. In that case, I'm the grammar police. Come here to learn.
Yeah, I got a comment on Temporal Anomaly, my fan film, and it complained about canon with two ends, and all I could think of was, yeah, but you don't have to spell canon, so who cares what you think?
It's an honest mistake, but still.
Yeah. Well, it's like Trekyards. There's no capital Y. It's an honest mistake. It's just no reason, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, freedom to do what they want. It's genuinely, this is the most exciting season. Although ironically, Discovery Season 1 was very meh across the board, right? Season 2, they fully relied on nostalgia and past things to get success. Almost entirely, and those were the best bits. And so in Season 3, they're now throwing all of that and doing something completely new again. So that's ballsy, almost, you know?
They're throwing their whole toy box out the window. There's nothing they can reach in and go, look, this is nostalgic. Look at this ship that showed up. Da 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 da.
Yeah,
I mean,
to stand on
they
its own.
can if it's in the future and they find a database that has a historical thing and that they access and they look at some shit.
It's true.
That's all I can think of for that. But
it's a ship from Picard. Oh my god. Which,
it's a shame what happened. It's a shame what happened to that poor old man. What?
To be fair,
what happened?
To be fair though, I will give them credit for this. If they introduce like the state-of-the-art Federation ship in Picard that actually looks good, and they find they found it crashed in this future, destroyed, they could reuse the same sets, and it's like 500 years old, but it's like this is the only derelict we have. You know, that would be fun. Like if you do it cleverly, like if I was writing, I would do some connective tissue like that, or they find a phaser. And it's like, what's this? It looks so advanced. And it's the Picard phaser. And it's like, it's 500 years old. That you could say being quite fun, or the like relativity phaser or something. But yeah, so, but then again, since we're in the future, then none of the art designs will be relevant at all. No Klingon, Romulan, Breen, nothing will look like what it looks. They can go completely new, which is what they've done the whole time pretty much, but like completely.
Well, you mentioned Klingons. I mean, we still have L'Rell, and it did Vok or Tyler, go? Was he with L'Rell when the Discovery went through the wormhole?
Yeah,
I think they were both.
But after the after the wormhole bit, they had that Section 31 briefing where he becomes the head of Section 31, and they say, they'll lie to Starfleet.
But I'm just saying, we still have people in the past. I'm sure we're going to be focusing on as well. They might go back and forth between time periods to tell stories. Who knows, really?
Ah, that's interesting. Well, one thing, I've spoken to Tyler Vok, Shazad Latif a couple of times, and at FedCon I said, we had conversation, and he was like, I think I'm done with the character. I think his arc's wrapped up. I wouldn't even want to be in the Section 31 show necessarily. I mean, if they offered me, maybe, but I've not. The character's done. I've nowhere else to go. The character personally, over. So I think they'd want to push the past behind them. And also Sonequa did say, although again they lie, I'm so sad to see our the cast we've loved for 2 years leave. So I'm thinking it is very much the own thing. Although I'm sure when Season 3 of Discovery finishes and they swap to Section 31 and then you don't have Discovery Season 4, then he'll come back in some way. Although with a bigger paycheck. He said he wants to do other things, not just this show for a bit.
Yeah. Well, we got a few more super chats. Let's get to those.
Awesome.
Jarzia puts in $5 Canadian.
Hi, Jarzia.
Then again, how many times has the timeline changed? Even if they say the Federation was destroyed, a future Trek could go ahead and erase that as well. Yeah, exactly. And as they say in Parallels, every decision has multiple outcomes, and each of those becomes its own future. So absolutely. And if you went through a wormhole, that's a weird gravitational anomaly. Who knows what could happen in there? Plus the Red Angel suit thing and the craziness could ensue. Who knows?
There's also time paradox and stuff. They've already destroyed one future. That was the whole premise of the season, was to stop the future. So the future they go into is I just think the writers in the show will think, no, this is the one future, without realizing all of the things that happen after this that make that future not possible. Which is cool, actually. Again, it'd be fun to say it's just an alternate future. Now, doesn't mean you can't go back to your present, which is why I like their idea. They're in an alternate future. They do anything. Holy shit. And then at the end of Season 3, they come back, and they're so changed by their alternate future, but obviously nothing they've done means anything except to them. Their journey.
Or they come back to the prime timeline.
Yeah.
and see like what the Enterprise really looks like, and go, what happened?
And it's just it's Anson Mount in Ticonderoga. And then Burnham walks on that agile set. It's like, this looks great. Wow, so shiny and clean. I can actually see the panels that lights in my face. Holy shit, this is so much more efficient. And I can talk to people across the bridge without having to yell. And yet Spock yells. Amazing. That'd be great.
We need to be writing. We need to be writing for them.
I mean, I wouldn't write that. I'm just saying it'd be funny. That's like a spoof, but that'd be a fun spoof.
Yeah. FlowX831 puts in $5. I have not watched the second season of Discovery. Should I continue watching? Absolutely, you should. There's definitely a lot of good stuff in season 2, especially if you're a fan of Real Trek, like Prime Trek, TOS Trek. I shouldn't have said Real Trek. I'm going to get blamed for that. But yeah, there's a few good episodes for sure. And overall, they did a lot of fixing of what was wrong with season 1. They tried to clean up their mess a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely say watch for sure.
Well, my advice to any Star Trek fan would be ignore season 1 Discovery. Just start with season 2. Season 1's not worth it. Just watch season 2. Read the wiki. Start with season 2. It's a good show from season 2. Ends poorly, but you'll enjoy the ride. Just skip like you said with TNG, like some DS9. Just it's not worth it. Don't watch season 1. Skip it. You'll help. All the headaches will be gone. Yeah.
You can go back and watch that later after you're invested in the characters a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, if you really want to.
Yeah.
And Aaron's Not Safe says, "You're welcome. It's not my first live." Well, hope you've been enjoying them.
I recognize the name. Yeah, I didn't think it was his first live. It was his first super chat though. But Matthew DeFreitas puts in $5. Were the red signals just rips across the space-time continuum that pinged when Burnham went back? I still don't get why there were 7 original signals. Neither do we. They're really not explained well, and they still don't make sense even after they're explained. So, yeah.
That's a symptom of changing the storyline halfway through. The 7 signals were not Burnham at the start, and then they were Burnham. And that's why they said, we'll do 3 more, and the last one I'll do through at the end, and yet she had 1 more signal, and yet we know she came back in time. It's a bit, I don't know, it's weird. Although, if season 3 ends with her coming back to the end of season 2 and doing the signal to, because she had to go back in time, but this sort of these teaser images imply she sort of crashes on this planet. But it's like, yeah, but you also have to go back in time and tell Spock you're fine. But if you have a time suit, just go back to your present and don't strand your crew, please.
Yeah, there was no reason for them to follow her at that point. It's like just abort.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
It was a bad end, but I do think they probably know. I think the new showrunner probably knows it's not great. And just like season 2 fixed a lot of the things that again the previous people broke, I think season 3 will have to answer some of these questions, and let them retcon stuff. At the end of the day, the show can actively fix itself as it goes. It's allowed to. I look forward to see it. I'm looking forward to see it. I'm not sure why.
Let's see here. Yeah, Laughable Larry puts in $5. Thank you very much,
Larry.
Are you excited? Excited for a possible 709 and Picard love story? They can swap Borg nanoprobes. Not really. We never really considered that, but no, I'm not excited for that. No.
I mean, she would get him, but
yeah, I heard a new theory about the girl too, but it's just. I don't know if you guys watch Steve Shives. Samuel, you ever watch Steve Shives? Okay, yeah, well, he's a theory that is kind of silly. But we're not talking about Picard.
Well, but guys, if you want to super chat $5 to hear Stuart's thing, I want to hear it. So super chat. You guys, seriously, you guys forced the conversation.
It's not mine. It's not my theory. It's Steve Shives. But anyway, I'll just go to the next super chat.
Yeah, my promise, Steve Shives. He talked about Canon. He's like, "Fuck off, Canon. I don't care. No one should care." And it's like, well, then I can't. Okay, you're not part of this conversation anymore. Cool, thanks. It's a very weird opinion on that. Is all.
Yeah, he does. I still like the guy though. He does some good, interesting. But anyway, we're not promoting another YouTuber here. Samuel Coetti.
Samuel.
Not sure what currency that is.
Samuel. That's £5. South America.
Sweet, thank you. Greetings from South Africa. Thanks for the awesome work. Keep it up. Always entertaining to watch. Well, thank you very much. And you have to put up with our Samuel here, but that's fine.
Samuel.
Woo!
See
what I mean?
I mean, come on, it's the best name. It's literally the best name.
Hellrats 96.
Again.
$5.
Okay.
Maybe this dystopian future is a result of them still losing that future war as seen on Enterprise. Ooh. Maybe. Plus, you got to keep in mind that in Enterprise they stopped the sphere builders, who were creating they were formatting our space to be like their space to probably save their future, or so they can move back into our. You know what I mean? So we stopped them from doing that. Maybe they took it out on the Federation in the future, or something like. There could be a crossover with Enterprise. I think that would be fantastic. Bring Daniels back.
Well, I mean, how fun would it be? Oh God, Burnham is future guy.
Oh jeez, that'd be dumb. That'd be dumb.
But wouldn't it be? I mean, I would genuinely like if future guy. Although he said he's from like 2800s, he's not actually as far forward. I mean, Temporal Cold War was interesting because again, time is so fluid. At what point do things go back and change Enterprise? Is it before Discovery changes the timeline with the thing? The AI can't be part of the Temporal Cold War because they would have destroyed all life. So I mean, there's you know what I mean? None of it all connects in the same way, but there was a linear start to time, and then once it got screwed up once, it keeps getting re-screwed up. So,
yeah.
I mean, it would be fun something to say for this guy. What did his name was? Booker?
Book, yeah.
Book.
Brooke, I don't know what his full name is. I read it, and then, but yeah, short name is Book. So, yeah.
So it'd be fun if he's like, because he's quite a cocky guy, has like a data pad, and it has an image, because it's like a Kindle, it like keeps last image, and he's like, yeah, there was a temporal Cold War and destroyed all life. Really sucked. I don't know, why making an Aussie just came to me, but yeah, he's a English in one show. But yeah, it can be fun. This is post temporal Cold War, and then this is like now this is the future they got to stop to go back to Enterprise and fix that. I mean, if they were that clever, because then you could say that. And again, this is like double fix the timeline. If Enterprise happened, then Discovery happened in that order, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then in that linear timeline, Temporal Cold War happened. Then they went back and changed Enterprise, because everyone was dead from that as well in the double future. And then because of the interference in Temporal Cold War and Enterprise, then we get the TOS timeline. So Discovery is the pre-Temporal Cold War timeline. What do you think? That'd be an easy fix.
That's interesting. It is an easy fix. Yeah, I like that.
So this was the first timeline. So that'd be really quite fun.
Yeah, Matthew DeFreitas says his name is Cleveland Booker. Now that is not an alien name at all. That is definitely a human name. Yes. Like Cleveland Brown.
I mean,
anyway.
Well, they said they don't land at Terralisium. Clearly a humanoid name, but again, alien with a sense of humour. Alien's name, whatever, doesn't really matter. Like Dr. Noonien Soong. I mean, alien in the future after his parents were also Andorians. La la la. Who knows? But I hope that's not in the Alpha Quadrant. I really hope they're so far out. The time suit went really haywire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be much better, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or if that is the Delta Quadrant and these are descendants of the Borg destroyed, societies, and after that, that'd be kind of fun.
This is the humans and stuff that got pushed out of the Alpha Quadrant. They had to move to the Delta Quadrant, and they're all scattered because Earth got destroyed and a bunch of other Federation worlds got destroyed. So they're all refugees, and yeah, it's the future, so they have the tech to get to the Delta Quadrant, no problem. But yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, again, the potential's there if they use it. I mean, honestly, I would rather it be a different galaxy. I mean, go completely fresh. Because if the time suit can go anywhere, it's a wormhole, right? And also you've got the mycelium network, so anywhere in space, time, dimension. That's the mycelial network, and this time suit can also go anywhere in space and time. Like, do you believe it can't cross the galactic barrier? Really? You know what I mean? It's a wormhole.
Yeah.
So that would be brilliant. Like, what? We're in the Andromedan galaxy? The hell? That'd be perfect. Complete clean slate. then they can do whatever they want. Awesome.
Yeah. And John Johns puts in $10. Thank you very much, John. All of the great content this week. It's made my work commute much more enjoyable. I'm glad we could help. This is going to be the last one for this week, unfortunately.
Yes.
And yeah, so tune in next week when we're going to be in Vegas.
I mean, it's the last live. We have 2 videos coming out tomorrow. One actually quite important one. I love our discussion on it. Shall I reveal what it is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who is Daj, the main character? Really good discussion. We actually analyze a lot of new stuff that I don't think people have necessarily seen yet. And then we have a Vegas prediction video, so watch that if you want. There's a weird looking bug. Yeah. It's got like a yellow shell.
Ooh. It's a Herogen. It's tracking.
Yeah, makes sense.
Thing or species A472 bug.
Again, makes sense. But thank you. I mean, this week's been hectic, difficult, but a lot of views, and we're really happy that you guys have enjoyed it. And hopefully a lot of people have found the channel because there's so much Trek coming out, massive backlog. Yeah. We do stuff for you to see. So thanks so much.
202 of you here. Everybody, make sure you're subscribed. Again, make sure the subscribe button's not red, because if it is, you haven't subscribed. So click it, and then also click the notification icon and click like. Let's get those likes up as well.
Yes, 70. Oh, come on, 75 only. Yeah, 75. Come on. Click.
We can get to 100 easily with 200 people here. Yeah, 200 people here. We can get to 100. Come on, guys, click it. Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $1.99. Love you, Sam, but Tyler is the best name. LOL.
Come to Vegas and say it to my face.
Ooh, the gauntlet's been thrown down. You'll pick that up. That's the equivalent to a bitch slap with a pair of gloves, challenging you to a duel, Mr. Tyler. You can get into Vegas. We will. I'll stand back. I'll be the referee. You've been warned.
But wasn't I so friendly about it though? I was smiling and happy. And hello, Donnie Pearson.
Yeah.
Hello.
So that's our talk about Discovery. Do you want to talk about Tarantino now?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, and Area 51 says, woohoo! Made the last live of the week. Been surprisingly busy on my vacation. Yeah.
Well, glad you could make it. Thank you. Good to see you again, and thank you for coming.
And last note on this, I love the guy's costume. It's a cool costume. It just looks like any show, any era. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's all good.
Absolutely.
That's good. Right, so what is the second bit of news, quote-unquote news?
Quentin Tarantino and his R-rated Star Trek. How he wants to do it, and he wants to play in the Prime universe, not the JJ verse. He wants to be in the Prime universe. I haven't read too much about this necessarily, so I don't know how much I have to say about it. But
I can read you the quote.
I'm glad that
it's pretty amazing.
Sure. I'm glad he's not a JJ fan, really. But anyway, read the quotes there.
Okay, so I'm on Forbes, and in a recent interview on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, Tarantino clarified his intentions, saying he even claimed that he's incapable about something happened in the first movie that now kind of wiped the slate clean. I don't buy that. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. Fuck that. Quote, I don't like that. I want the whole series to have happened. It's just hasn't happened yet. And Benedict Cumberbatch, or whatever his name is not Khan. Khan is Khan. And I told JJ, I don't understand this. I don't like it. And he said, ignore it. Nobody likes it. I don't understand. Wait, what? And he said, ignore it. Nobody likes it. I don't understand it. Do whatever you want. If you want to do it, if you want to do it in the exact way it happened in the original series, it can. Didn't you know he was quoted? Tarantino's befuddlement makes more sense when one considers his approach to filmmaking. His meta blend of homage, pastiche, and satire. In Tarantino's world, movies are aware that they are movies. Tales can be externally retold, and the actors recast without having to justify why. Indeed, a fixation on unnecessary detail is something fairly unique to science fiction fandom, with most observant fans often coming to their own conclusions about on-screen discrepancies, seeking to find canonical explanations rather than acknowledging the fact that fiction is inconsistent. In Tarantino's mind, Abrams' timeline is that of the original series, and he was incredibly enthusiastic over Abrams' casting choices. The reason I was actually intrigued by J.J. Abrams' version of it is that I thought Chris Pine did a fantastic job, just not just playing Captain Kirk, but playing William Shatner's captain. He is William Shatner. He's not just another guy. He's William Shatner, Captain Kirk. And it's literally, Zachary Quinto is literally their Nimoy, because they both have the same scenes together. He's his Spock. They fucking nailed it. They just nailed it. The upcoming Star Trek film won't be part of the shiny lens for laden reboot, nor incorporate nostalgia grab, but hopefully something unique and bold new direction, staying true to the spirit of the original. Whew!
It's a lot of swearing, but that's okay. I love the way he said it. JJ, I don't understand anything you did. It makes me fear for Quentin Tarantino's sanity that it's been explained to him multiple times and he doesn't get it, because it's a pretty simple concept.
It's really simple.
But I do like the way that JJ's like, yeah, nobody likes it. Just do what you want to do.
That was fun, yeah.
JJ's given up on it, I guess, but that's funny. Jeff Jacobs puts in $1.99. So Jeff has tuned in. 50 likes. Yay. Again at 100. Hashtag make Jeff pay. Thank you very much, Jeff. And Eugene, our good old trusty Eugene, is here with 1,000 rubles to offer. Thank you very much. Truer words were never spoken. This is true. It's very true. Laughable Larry, another $5. Thank you very much. Should the Picard series end with them meeting up in the Discovery cast? One big intergalactic twist. Hashtag please don't. Yeah, no. They should stay far away from each other. No references, nothing. Just their own things. Don't piss people off more than you already have.
As far as possible.
Yeah. There should be a restraining order. Stay 50 years away from each other at all times.
Discovery made its bed. It's got its fans. Finish its run. Season 3 done. Right? Great. And then let Picard be its own thing. So what do you think of Tarantino's idea of using the JJ cast and it being Prime still? Like, what beyond the fact you don't understand it, what do you think? Because that's a pretty detailed interview. Like, we always for the last year we've been like, what's he gonna do? That's pretty concrete.
I never had an issue with any of the cast per se. I think that'd be fantastic to bring them back. I don't know if that would be allowed by Bad Robot, whether their contracts would allow that kind of thing, or how that would work exactly. But
the
I would love to
contracts
see
are
them
up, to be fair, as in the actors ones, so they can get hired by CBS company.
Well, I would love to see them come back to do those roles, but yes, have Prime timeline, new Enterprise. I would love to see that. I think that'd be great. The problem is, I think a lot of people would like to see that, but then because Quentin Tarantino is attached to it, and he's not everybody's cup of tea when it comes to storytelling, so there's going to be a lot of complaining about that because it's going to be R-rated, swearing, violence, Quentin Tarantino vibe to it.
What, you mean more violent than Into Darkness?
More bloody, probably. Sure.
I mean, that was the most violent Star Trek's ever been.
Probably, yeah. Crushing heads.
Yeah.
You didn't see too much, though. I mean, Quentin Tarantino movies, you usually see blood splattered everywhere, and But
see, it's funny. I feel like I would rather have, and again, throw in your thoughts as soon as I finish the sentence. I think if I was given the choice, I would rather have an adult over 18 Trek than a children's designed for Nickelodeon young kids Trek.
1000% agree with you.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Do you want why do you agree so $1,000,000%? And I'll explain why I think that.
Because most of the fans that are going to be interested in that kind of thing are going to be the older crew anyway, the older generation. Yeah. Because they're the ones that have been around for it. And if it's TOS based, they're definitely going to be guys that are into it. As soon as you drop the JJ verse vibe, you'll get a lot of people back, and those are going to be the older crowd that will appreciate that kind of thing. Maybe not necessarily appreciate it. They may not like the swearing or the violence necessarily, because not everybody's into that, but the older audience is going to be more geared towards something that's a little bit grown up with them. It grew up with them, and now it's kind of in the same place. So that's why I think it'll work. And yeah, I that's why I totally agree with. I would love to see a more violent. It kind of goes against Gene's vision, but I mean, more realistic Star Trek. I don't know how to put it.
again, I'm a filmmaker. I've studied this stuff. It's a little bit different than an average Joe's perspective. I know, but I mean, I've watched Pulp Fiction, right? And it's a very clever, deep, interesting narrative thing with great lines, great cinematography. It's very clever, but they're not like they don't walk into a room and watch three people having sex and just hold the camera on penetration while they're laughing, or they don't just stab a guy and then watch him bleed out. There isn't. It's not for the sake of it. You know, when spoilers, when Samuel Jackson shoots the guy in the head, very gruesomely, that's incredibly important to the plot, the characters, the motivation, the story. Is essential, and it's played as much as, you know, when the lady's given the syringe, it's graphic, but exactly as it would be, and you get exact sense of the situation. You know, so when I hear Tarantino Trek, I just think, like Deadpool, when you don't have the limitations of going below a certain rating, you can just be free to do what you want. And sometimes, sometimes for a narrative point, you need to cut off a dude's head and hold it up, and it's bleeding. And, you know, a barbaric warlord.
That was done in Discovery. A baby and a guy's head.
Yeah, that was bizarre. Now we reflect on that. But you know, if you want to establish, right, if Tarantino, so classic TOS, right, he wants to do a TOS movie with the JJ Cost, absolutely fine. And you've got a Klingon warlord called Katarg, right? And the first scene he's in, he's with two of his Klingon ladies, and they're having a really like aggressive makeout session in his tent. And the lieutenant comes in and he says, "Sorry, my lord, we've lost the battle." And suddenly Katarg, you know, pulls out his bat'leth, walks up to the guy, stabs him in the head. His head falls down, goes back to making out, and then he says, "I hate bad news." You just established everything you need about that character. It's not gratuitous. It's not unnecessary. It's establishing everything you need. Boom, motivation done.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I just had so much more to add to that scene you just described, but I'll just shut up. We have some super chats.
And I'd love to hear about your thoughts after our super chat. Sponsored by
Eugene puts in 500 rubles.
Thank you.
I had a lot of issues with the cast, and then I saw Beyond, and I understood the issues were not with the cast all along. By the way, have you by any chance watched Real Life Red Letter Media's review of Discovery Season 2, 22 Producers? Damn. Yes, I have seen it. I watch everything they do because they're awesome.
I watched it before you did. I was like, dude, watch it, please.
Yeah.
It is, again, those guys are rarely wrong. I'll reference Aquaman. I was convinced they were going to hate Aquaman. They liked it, but saw the flaws. So, like, they have they're not haters by any means. They have really strong common sense approach to things, and they're very, like, I don't know many times I'm like totally disagreeing with them. You know?
Well, sometimes they take things a little too far, or they don't get it. They don't get some of the Star Trek references like we do, because we know more Trek than they do. I think a lot of things confuse them, but and sometimes they go a little. Go down a bit, but that's very rare. So I mean, I really appreciate their thoughts on things for sure.
Yeah, Mike and Jay, or Mike and Rich. Rich is more firm in his opinion.
Oh my god!
It's great, a great cast, if you can call it a cast. And Mike knows a lot. He knows a lot of facts, but he doesn't know as much of the little things that we know, but he remembers a lot of stuff that we don't.
Minutia.
Like he remembered a planet that I would never have remembered from TNG, but at the same time he forgets a whole side plot point, and it's like, well, you know, we've said we'd love to go on the show one time. I think we'd be a very good 3, but they pick and choose what they do very carefully. But yeah, that was a really good review, and I did not realize 22 producers. That says something so broken about a show when the title credits are long just to show producers.
And I never realized that myself. I watched those credits many times, and I never put that together.
I assumed it was the cast, just over a long period of time. No, it's so broken. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, Jarzia puts in $5 Canadian. Thank you very much. Well, I said I'd cover for Jeff at 100 likes, and I'm not sure if he's here on, so 5 strips of Gold Press Platinum. Thank you very much, Jarzia. Jeff is busy, so he'll tune in when he can, but thank you very much. Ooh. Joseph Petrick throws in €2.
Hold on, before you do it, Wade Smalling says, I can totally substitute damn it, Jim, for fuck it, Jim.
Yep, I saw that one earlier. That's a good one. Absolutely, yeah. Joseph Petrick puts in €2. A Batleth cut makes you bleed. Quentin over JJ. Yeah, because Batleth cuts in. Was it? Yeah, Into Darkness. That was a pretty brutal fight scene. I don't remember seeing any blood in that.
It is
With
rating.
the Klingons.
No, it's rating stuff. I mean.
Yeah, I know. That's what he's saying. Like the more blood would be good.
Yeah, because also you understand, like a phaser blast, right? I know it cauterized, but imagine in a phaser fight where you have 4 characters and one actually has a phaser blast, which actually is a massively disgusting wound. You get the sense like this is what you would see in a real show. You just never highlight it, but this like shows you feel it. You know, it's like imagine if Nog's leg, you actually saw a genuine mutilated stump on the battlefield. I mean, you never you do one close up and then you cut away, but it's in the corner of the screen for a lot of the time. It's like this is gruesome. You don't need it, but it would really highlight the war even more. You know.
Yeah. Red Palace throws in $10. Thank you very much, Red Palace. Greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Imagine if all the resources squandered on Discovery were given to an Axonar series.
Yeah.
There's an alternate future I could embrace. Yeah. Do you bleed? You will. Yes. Yeah, and I mean we've had our fair share of goriness in Star Trek. We saw a guy explode in TNG. We've seen blood all over a ship in Star Trek 6, even though they had to change the color of it to pink to
pretty graphic
get the rating down. We've seen people's heads get crushed. We've seen in Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, they had people hanging from the rafters on Regula. There were people hanging with blood dripping.
Yeah.
Not really much was shown, but just enough to get the point across. And it's like, that's kind of gory.
Actually, how did they get that
so
through?
We've had... Yeah. Well, there was hardly any blood. There was just a little trickle off the one finger, and you didn't see it for very long. And then the swearing, double dumbass on you, things like that. It's kind of always been there with what they could do.
I apologize, but I need to go grab a glass of water with some ice because it's getting even hotter now. So give me a minute.
Yes, sir. Kronos says, forgive me, where are my manners? Hey there, Cockings and Foley. Well, hello, Kronos. How are you today? Welcome, my friend. Just bought the 6 movies on Blu-ray, says Cartoon Man. The first 6 Star Trek movies. Cool. I just picked up Alita Battle Angel today on 4K. So JJ did Trek, then Wars. If you mix Trek and Wars, you may get Green Lantern. Supposedly he may be doing that next. He'd probably be good with comic book movies. I think JJ directed comic book movie would be good. Even New Superman or something like that by JJ. I would give him enough props to say, go for it, dude. I thought for sure he would do a good job with Star Wars, and in my mind he did. He did do a lot of copy and paste from the original script, I guess, but overall it felt like Star Wars again when we got The Force Awakens. So there's that. I think he's a good enough director and creator on his own dime and on his own on something that interests him. But when it's something like Star Trek that he never watched or never understood as a kid and didn't care about, then of course he's got to change it into something that he would have wanted to watch, and that just doesn't work in that context. So, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, guys, what do you think about the whole Tarantino conspiracy thing of, rated R Star Trek and how much people are gonna hate it? And it's like, are you one of the people that's gonna hate an R-rated Star Trek? Because as we've kind of pointed out, there's been a lot of gore in Star Trek before. There's been some swearing, not really hardcore, but to me, it wouldn't make a big deal. It wouldn't be a big deal to me if it's done properly. As long as it's not just done for the sake of doing it and just have gratuitous nudity or sex scenes or whatever. If it's just subtle little things like a Orion stripper on a pole or something that you kind of pan by while you're in a club, that's perfectly fine within the storytelling environment. So, and that's enough to give it an R rating. And I have no issues with that. But I don't know. I just what do you guys think about that? Because I'd
Hello.
kind of like your opinions on that. Hello.
Any super chats that I missed? Anyone we can thank?
No.
Ah.
I was just talking about what's their opinion on R-rated, Trek film, because if it's done for the sake of the story or part of the story and it's not done gratuitously, I have no issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just saying, if there's a scene in a club on a planet where they're panning and they're following the main characters and passes by, there's a pole with a naked Orion stripper on it, but it just passes by. It's not like focused on, it serves the story because it shows the environment they're in, but it's not gratuitous. It's not raunchy. It's not, that would make it R-rated, but it's something that I'd be fine with. So,
I mean, it's like Game of Thrones. It's the context of life which you gain the extra texture of. It's all in the writing. I mean, he's not writing it; he's directing it. Mm-hmm. But he's one of his favorite writer friends. I'm sure obviously he'll put his touch on it.
Oh yeah.
Obviously that guy wrote it knowing what Although I believe in one interview he did actually say it's going to be my Pulp Fiction in space, which as a very base implies a maybe multiple level narrative. I definitely think the cast of JJ would sign back on for him, because it's weird. He said he was. I've read one interview saying he was retiring after this film, which would then make a Trek film be out of the question. But I guess this is that if that's on his slate, then that's the last film that's not on his slate. So that might be. It's kind of weird to end your career on a Star Trek movie, and therefore these actors like Zachary Quinto and Chris Pine, do you want to work with Tarantino? This is the last chance. So take a pay cut. Or don't work. You know what I mean? Being a big director in, and you can change people's minds. Like give a paycheck, and you can change Brent Spiner's mind. And I definitely would. I'm sure you've seen this Saturday Night Live sketch with Chris Pine as William Shatner as Kirk. In the correct uniform, and he looked better. He actually looked and acted better, more familiar, and I liked the. Obviously Chris Pine as a Kirk is fine, but he's more just a Kirk guy. And obviously in Beyond they all harness it better, but he never quite got, the Kirk that we knew. Obviously he never got to the Kirk we knew because his parents were killed. He never got to be the Kirk we know, therefore he never evolved to be Shatner Kirk, so he was never going to be anything close to the same guy because he had a completely different life, and you changed by your life.
We got a PayPal.
Ooh.
From Catherine Mulrooney, who puts in 66 cents. And she said, sorry, It's not so much. I don't have much money, but appreciate that anyway. And she goes on to say, hi, guys. Just wanted to add a contribution because of the awesome...
What did you say, Stuart?
It will help if you tell me when I get cut off.
Oh.
Instead of just say I can't hear you anymore, then I can still hear you, and I know when I need to stop talking. That would be very helpful.
Okay.
So what did you hear last?
Just the start of the super chat, but I feel like she'd actually want her thing heard. I know I would. So please do read again.
Contribution because of the awesome work you both do. Sorry, it's not a bigger contribution. It's all I can afford right now. I just went on to say, well, thank you. It doesn't have to be big. It's just you watching and appreciating what we do makes us very happy. So thank you for anything you do. But yeah, next time if I get cut off like that, just say you're cut off, Stuart, and then I can go. Okay, I'll stop talking now. I know where I was and continue my thought when I come back.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's fair enough.
Jeff Jacobs, $1.99. Yay, 100 plus. Again at 150. Jarzia rocks. Hashtag make Jeff pay. 195 people here. So everybody hit like. Come on, we can do 150 with 195 of you. We can get 150.
Oh, and Matt Mon says I'm gonna have to watch this back when I'm off work. I'm happy to have missed this live. Oh no, I'm sorry, Matt, but it will be there. I will always be here for you, in this form.
For eternity.
This form. So what is too far? Now, obviously, you mentioned a few minutes ago, Gene Roddenberry's idea is a positive future, utopian. If he had the ability to do anything R-rated at 18, whatever, what do you think he would disapprove of and therefore maybe we shouldn't push it that far.
What would he disapprove of?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. What do you think he'd be just so against that? Not in Star Trek.
Humans acting aggressive or prejudiced, which has been like Star Trek 6, I think. Just see, I don't think Roddenberry would be totally against gratuitous nudity. I just don't feel like that's a thing. He just wanted to show you that humans would eventually in the future become better than we are now.
Yeah.
And be accepting of other species and other races. And so anything about like just being violent for the sake of being violent just because we, meet a species that is aggressive towards us immediately.
Yeah.
We don't just destroy it. It's like we still got to try to work out a way to maybe talk to it or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's kind of, I think, where he would draw that line.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, I think he would have been fine to add more blood, to add more gore, if it served the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, he wrote a lot, but he didn't direct anything. And so there's still a level of, everything else to it. And there's still some pretty, for the time, things in the original series, certainly. I mean, obviously, he, first interracial kiss, so, I mean, pushing the boundaries, if it lived in such a world where that was an X rating, only for mature audiences seeing a black and a white person kiss, ooh, and so seeing someone's boobs, seeing someone slit someone from head to toe, I mean, if they serve a story, like I said, if you want to set up a character by showing that, but yeah, I wouldn't, I think seeing Captain Kirk hit a lady out of, as in hit one of his crew out of anger, it's like, no, that's not, that's not okay. Or punching McCoy, it's like we're past that, interpersonal, where you're having fun jabs, verbal sparring. You can say things are abuse, but also, if you build up a thick skin of just, it depends how you take things. It can be fun, like you've said, or like Doug said, Doug Drexler. He only insults you if he likes you. And there's levels where I think insulting is a bit too far for me, but I mean that's how you that if you're used to it, because you understand how he means it, then you can have fun with that, and you can insult him back, and it becomes more fun, in its own way. But just for mean is different. I mean, the amount of times McCoy was being mean to Spock, but he didn't mean it ever really to be mean.
It was never malicious. It was never like, I absolutely hate you in real life, but I pretend to like you. It was always like, I really like you, but I just like to poke at you and get a reaction out of you. Like my brother does to me. He's always like...
It's like, you're my brother.
He knows which buttons to push with me to... he knows what buttons to push to piss me off. And he likes seeing me get pissed off, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like we're brothers. Yeah. I know what will actually hurts you and what is challenging you, because you can only grow by being challenged. We shouldn't live in a bubble of safety, because otherwise you can't grow, and you can't be a better person if you're not challenged. There's levels of that, obviously.
That's deep, man.
There's all these things about current culture that we don't want to get into, obviously, but but interpersonal to be mean is unnecessary. So I think that's definitely a no. Violence for the sake of it. Yeah. And as Len Nimoy said in an interview, Spock would go anything else but violence. And I feel like Shatner should be the same. That part of Starfleet training should be violence is a last reaction.
That's why the Kirk Fu wasn't like devastatingly awful. It was just like, shots to the back and stuff, just to kind of temporarily stun somebody. It wasn't necessarily like, like beating the crap out of somebody.
Well, I mean, is martial arts violence, right? If go to an extreme here, but if someone in America, because it's more prevalent in America, if someone is getting robbed in America, so someone with a gun sticks up a guy in a store, right? If the guy being stuck up does a karate kick to the guy's face, knocks him out, is he being violent to the guy, or is he just doing a least action possible to end the situation? You know what I mean? Would you call it being violent, or just I'm saving people's lives? No. You know what I mean?
Self-defense. Well, self-defense, or
but it's the least necessary force. So I wouldn't. It's
Yes.
not violence. It's just, a police officer has to put your arm behind your back. He's not being violent towards you. He's doing the least action to stop you from being bad in your own way.
He's being reactionary to you being an asshole.
Yeah.
Violence in itself is just going in and doing something for the sake of it, for your own amusement or your own gain.
Yeah.
That's violence. When you're reacting to said violence, that is not violence.
Yeah.
That is self-defense, or that is, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a reaction to that violence.
Which is why, not that it's right, but a cop that shoots a murderer before he shoots other people, like, you've still killed somebody, or in a battlefield, you've killed somebody, but you've done it for a very specific reason that isn't in the same moral, it's not quite the same thing. If you shoot a Nazi who's going to shoot a village, should you really not be able to sleep at night? It's like you've killed a Nazi, you know what I mean? There's levels of this.
Yeah.
So I think Starfleet officers should all be trained in some level of martial arts in tactical training, and so there will never be, Spock punching Khan in the face, never going to happen.
Repeatedly.
He
really
would know
angrily.
He would know after the first punch that this is not working, and therefore would do something else. To be fair, just throw him off the damn thing. I mean, come on, if you just need his blood, anyway. So, violence, but also tactical, the basic martial arts. Another good example is Doctor Who, a non-violent character. But the third Doctor, played by John Pertwee, who was kind of not the dandy, he was the gentleman, and he actually introduced as part of the character, he asked for it, a form of martial arts, an alien martial arts, where the idea is one move, there's like 100 ways to incapacitate somebody with one move. And so he's not being violent towards people, he's just disarming a situation by doing a single efficient move. And that was a line that he tread, and I'm fine with it, What do you guys think?
Yes, what do you think? I'm just checking, there's another PayPal. Just checking it now. Hold on.
Ooh, Brian McFarland, Trekyards, Samuel. Why did you not use foul language, gruesome scenes in your latest Star Trek fan films? Because it's not needed? If it's not needed for the plot, I mean, if it's not needed, then you don't need to use it. I say, one of my actors says, what in the hell is that? And you could argue that as a expletive or whatever, that's not necessarily as Trekky as it could be, but I think it fitted the character saying it, or shit, or god damn it. But I mean, I haven't got really a budget, so I'm not gonna do a laser blast where the blood. It's like I'm just trying to get it made, And I've said before, I think the saying "fucking Discovery" was completely inappropriate and stupid and wrong. There's no, so
it was there for shock value for sure.
Yeah.
So we got good answer. It's not using it for the sake of just being able to use it. It's when it fits the narrative.
Yeah. If it was an alien being a dickhead, maybe he could say, fuck you all, and I'd be like, oh, but there'd be the reason. He's the worst baddie ever. This Klingon swears.
Ooh. So we got a PayPal from Jeff Jacobs, whose name is displayed as JJ. So JJ himself is sponsoring our show. Thank you, JJ. Jeff's probably going to kill me for that, but that's okay. 1142 Canadian. Thank you. And he says, sensing money to bolster my super chats because I can't figure out how to change super chat amount on phone while driving. Laughing my fucking ass off. Well, you shouldn't be on your phone while you're driving.
No, you shouldn't.
Pull over. Then do that. Don't risk your life or anyone else's for the sake of us, please.
We want to meet you one day and go out for beers and chicken wings, as you said, and
yeah. I hope there's a good wing place in Vegas. I'm sure there is, but we gotta have beer and chicken wings one night. Anyway.
As I've said to you before, I'm most looking forward to America, the food. Seriously, going to all the food places, trying different things. I'm eager to try and eat and have fun, and
sweet.
America has ridiculous things you find nowhere else.
It's true. Jarzia puts in $2. Sam should press a red alert button when Cap cuts out. You should have like a little red flashing light beside you when I be about, just hold it like this, and I'm like, all right, I can stop talking now until they come back.
It is weird because your stream is crystal clean. It's actually pretty good high def. Our stream is fine. Yours
is always crystal clear, and you're sitting there reacting, and all of a sudden your face goes like this, and I'm like, I can't hear me now.
Yeah.
But it's already, I'd been already talking for like a minute. Said a lot of shit, and it's like, damn it.
A couple of little other comments. Cartoon Man 154 says, "Are you looking for actors?" No, because before I start the film, I cast all my people, and there's reasons for everyone. But thank you. And Brian responds to his question, and I've answered it. Thanks, Samuel. Fair enough. Yes. And Aaron, SFE. Oh shit! In Generations. Yes, that was a PG movie. They can get away with some swearing. Yeah, that oh shit is so contextually appropriate. Narratively,
especially from Data. It's funny too.
That's actually a really good use of it. So that's how doing it appropriately. Now, do you think? Actually, two questions. So Discovery is not a great subject matter. It's not a good case study. But in the same ish scene, we saw Tyler Vok getting ripped apart in a very gruesome graphic, and Tyler Vok getting fucked by Laurel and her tits. Now, taken as two separate questions... Sorry, I didn't phrase that well. Two separate questions, but were those things contextually appropriate to push the boundaries? Each has a separate question.
Okay. Yes, they were both perfectly contextualized fine, in my opinion, to show the pain and of the operation or the torture. We weren't sure at the time, so that was very appropriate to show it could be either, but very likely torture. And then, yeah, the fact that she was having sexual relations with him, I had no issues with that personally. A lot of people are really up in arms over seeing that scene. Whatever, I think it was fine, but it didn't need to be done. It could have been done in a different way where you didn't see that, but I think it was fine for the context it was used in, to show that she was like, because at that point we believed he was a prisoner and that he was just doing what he needed to do to survive. So, and she had taken a liking to him. So as far as I'm concerned, those were both used perfectly fine.
Yeah, the graphic stabbed open chest I thought was perfectly valid. It was good as well. It was a good scene. I think the sex was I didn't need to see Klingon tits. I think they did it just cause it wasn't necessarily as narrative as cause we can. Although you pointed out at the context they were still thinking he was whatever. But if I could replace the scene with a shot of and follow me with this, with Tyler in a Klingon room and Laurel in her clothes and he's in clothes, and they actively strip each other, start making out, and so she's topless, he's topless, and it's clear what's going to happen. And then as the season progresses, you then see actually the memory is Vok, so it swaps to see Klingon Vok stripping and so you get to see full topless of each of them, and you know what's going to happen, and they can be kind of violent, but you don't see the fucking, you just see, yeah, she has tits, okay, fine, whatever. But it's like this mutual thing. I think that would have been better, because you can still have, unwanted sexual rape where he's made to kiss her, he can express it in his face, but I think that would have been a much more appropriate way of showing that than just watching her on top in this weird, like, look, it's the tits. It's like, good, thanks for that.
Yeah. And Kronos says, so Foley, Tilly naked or not? I am going to not answer that, just because.
It's a safe move.
I shouldn't have even read it, but I think we all know the answer to that, guys. I just don't have to say it. And even her use of fuck, I personally thought it didn't need to be there, but it kind of fit for me, and I have no issues with it. I hated that people were so up in arms about it. But yeah, it did not need to be there. That was just there for shock value. There are many more instances during that season or this following season where that would have been appropriate to yell something like that instead of that instance. So that one, yeah, definitely could have been changed and used elsewhere. So.
And there were better points. We actually found like 3 better points where that would have been really appropriate.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember which ones because it was a while ago. Although I want to read 2 comments. One's funny, one's serious, and again, okay, 3 comments. Zachary Gibbons. Samuel is blurring out his background because it's Starship Pod.
Yeah.
It's true. Patrick Pleel says Klingon nudity beach resort.
Some Klingon governor or something that has a bunch of naked Klingon women around. That's fine,
Or to be fair, if you want to go strong with it, strong female Klingon lady and 10 naked Klingon dudes with one single dick. Fix that canon issue.
That was just a Prince Albert that he'd taken this piercing out of.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And then they hired John Eves and Rick Sternbach and Dan Curry to literally sketch, art design a Klingon penis right now. John Eves, you got to design 10 Klingon penis molds that we're going to make and put on our actors. And he's like, holy shit.
They're ridged for her pleasure.
Love it. That was really loud. And then, Ryan McFarlane, back to serious shit now. Okay. Trekyards. I think an R rating is going down a slippery slope. PG-13 is an integral characteristic of Star Trek. An R rating will reduce Star Trek to the same level as other franchises. Really interesting comment. Very well eloquently said. So please talk me through that, Stuart. What do you think?
I disagree. I think that there's enough PG Star Trek out there to get your kids into it, to get people interested in it, without having to go to the R-rated stuff. The R-rated stuff should be there as a supplement to it. If you want to watch it, fine. If you don't, fine. It's up to you. Just everything needs to evolve, including Star Trek. And considering the times we live in, the shows that are on TV, the things we're dealing with as a culture, I don't see why Star Trek shouldn't have a little bit of an edge to it. Like I said, you don't have to watch that. It's not like the old Star Trek is going anywhere. It's all there for you to enjoy. You know, all those series, all those episodes, all those hours of Trek that you have that are PG-13. You know what I mean? Well, we can't watch Star Trek as a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. There's how many series that you can go and check out and watch. Mm-hmm. I don't understand the argument. I think there's room for it. Well, it just shouldn't be the only way it should go. There should be, you know, stuff that is R-rated and stuff that isn't.
Children of 16, if your parents of children of 16, and you tell them, right, we're going to watch one Star Trek episode every day, they will be over 18 by the time you get to this new show, and then they can watch the R-rated, because there's over 600 episodes of Star Trek. So there's a lot of other stuff. My reaction to that is that I don't want to see Star Trek Picard where he's in a whorehouse. I don't want to see Discovery where, like Discovery, I never, that are nurses like. There's a few weird things that have shock value, but it's not crossing that many lines. It's more the canon stuff. But to have a singular, one-off R-rated movie, cool. You know, that's not going to be the default. For example, you have all the Marvel films, very family safe. Then you have Deadpool, not family safe, tremendous movie. Yeah. But you have all the other movies. It's not every movie has gone R-rated. Let's go back one step. Terminator, the franchise, Terminator 1 and 2 R-rated. Use R-rated very well. I don't think of Terminator 2 as being, oh god, R-rated. It is, but it's everything is in service of the plot. Yeah. Terminator 3, not R-rated, but it feels genuinely a lot less hard-edged. Same with 4, same with 5. Now 6 is X-rated again, and Linda Hamilton kind of says, "Fucking, you're fucking terminated." Okay, good. She's an attitude, whatever. So that you know what I mean. There's things where losing that R rating can also affect it, and this is a one-off. Or if he wants to do 2, if Tarantino has a 3-story arc and it's supposed to be his last trilogy, then why not?
Yeah. And Brian McFarlane says, Trekyards, but what if my family wants to see the latest Star Trek movie series, not something years ago? Then go watch Lower Decks.
Or the Nickelodeon one.
Yeah, there's still going to be stuff out there. Plus, just watch a movie from a few years ago. Well, anyway, we got another PayPal.
Well, hold on. And if your child of 10 wants to watch new Star Trek, but the trailers are inappropriate, you just don't take them. I mean, they have no choice in the matter. Or it's your choice as a parent to take them. I mean, watching content isn't a right. They want to watch Westworld. Doesn't mean you're going to show them Westworld. No. They want to watch porn. You're not going to, you know what I mean? Okay.
And also, not every episode is going to push that envelope and not be able to be watched. You can screen the episodes, and if there's an episode that's...
Well, I think it's a movie. Anyway, I think it's a one-off movie in this context.
Well, yeah, if you're talking about the Tarantino thing, then that's fine. But anyway, so we received one from Minkin2.
Thank you.
I could give his real name. I don't know if he wants me to, though.
Because
he says, from Minkin2. There are so many rules that I can give a movie... first of all, give us 42 cents, but still, it's PayPal, so
everything is good.
Yes. There are so many rules that can give a movie an R rating. Some of them seem silly, like the number of times a certain word can be said. In the same movie, you can show a mutilated corpse with a lower rating. If Tarantino does value Star Trek, then he may just not want to be bound by such tight restrictions without going full Tarantino in the movie. That's exactly right.
Yep.
Just you can have a PG-rated, a PG-13 movie that says fuck. But if you say it twice, then now it's up to R-rated because now that's going to be a trend apparently, So that's their thought process there. But you're still PG-13. Your kid's still going to be able to see that and hear that word once. So
Well, and the amount of violence in PG movies is absurd. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Because they can get through. You film it a certain way. You don't do blood effects. Really, is watching 150 people getting shot to death, is that appropriate for a 13? No, it's not. But it's like,
Yeah. And again, it's up to the parent, decide what is good for their kid and what they want them to see. You should probably screen things before you show the kid.
And if Tarantino's legitimately as big a Star Trek fan, he will still have the Roddenberry message in the film. Like, he's not making murder, kill, death Star Trek because he hates Star Trek, unlike JJ, who made Star Wars and he genuinely doesn't like Star Trek. This is a guy that actually loves Star Trek. So if you watch an episode I'll finish my point. Pale Moonlight, right? Not good for kids, probably, to show bad morals equal good results. But it's still good Star Trek.
And Dan23 says Lower Decks is not on Nickelodeon. And then Aaron says Lower Decks is an all access only. I know that. Lower Decks is not on Nickelodeon, but there's another Nickelodeon cartoon coming out aimed at kids. It's another Star Trek cartoon coming out on Nickelodeon.
I meant or Nickelodeon. 2 shows. We don't know what it's called, so it's just Nickelodeon Star Trek.
Yeah, people assume we're idiots, I guess. Unfortunately.
Someone says Terminator Dark Fate bring back 2 original actors, 3 actually. Connor's coming back as well, which is awesome.
Yes, and we got another. Okay, now we got some super chats waiting. And sorry, guys, we also got another PayPal, $5 from JC Fox. Sorry. First time I saw live. Fan of your show for years. You two have a good time in Vegas next week. I have a hand surgery next week, and we'll catch up with you when I am out of the hospital. P.S. Tarantino seems to care more about Star Trek. P.P.S. There should be more aliens in the Picard crew. Elves don't count. Winky face. Well, thank you for being a fan of the show, and hopefully your hand surgery goes well.
Good luck. Yeah.
Be sure to tune in for all of our stuff from Vegas, because that should keep you maybe mind off of it.
Yeah.
All right, so now super chat time.
Yeah, the amount of times that people say I was in the hospital and we watched your
chat. Sorry, we've been kind of behind on those. Jarzia puts in $5 Canadian. Siege of AR 558 and the Dominion massacre on Cardassia would be perfect settings for R-rated content that would fit and make sense. Absolutely.
But that said, they didn't need the R-rated to be great. I'll just say that. So it was not necessary. So if you did add it,
it's like Jaws. You don't. It's like Jaws. If you don't see the monster, it makes it more scary.
So do you think they would have actually been better with the graphic violence?
No.
See, that's so you should always write something with that intentional, where it means something. It's important, Like I said, Pulp Fiction, Sam Jackson shoots a guy very gruesomely. It's really important to the plot and the context and everything. Like, it's legit important.
Yeah. All right, FlowX831.
Again, thank you.
I took my 9-year-old to Universal last month. She met Bumblebee, and she says, "Live long." My daughter immediately put up the Vulcan salute. My girls are both already fans. Plenty of friendly Trek. Yeah, exactly. There's lots of stuff out there, so that's awesome.
And if they enjoy ships and tech, show them the good designer episodes. I'm sure they'll enjoy some of it. Thank you, and $10 is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, and Laughable Larry again, another $5. Thank you very much, sir. 80-year-old Picard in a brothel with Viagra. Make it go. Make it go.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
We had another good comment, a little bit up, which mentioned another good franchise, which is now getting rebooted, but I can't find it. But it said, Blade as a franchise, at least 1 and 2, X-rated but completely graphically needed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't think either of those films as being, oh my god, the violence, the graphic, but it's like it fits the tone so well, and you need that
Yeah.
stuff, and you want that stuff. Have you seen the Blade films, all three?
Hell yeah.
Which one how do you order them in review? What's your favourite?
1, 2, and 3.
Hmm.
I really enjoy the third one more than people give it credit for. People give it a lot of crap, but I just love the addition of Ryan Reynolds' character.
Oh yeah.
It's Wade Wilson. It's just, he plays the same guy in everything. Plus, it's got Triple H in there, a wrestler. I used to watch wrestling quite a bit, so it's nice to see that. I really love Blade 3. I might even it's still 1, 2, and 3 for me as far as order goes, but they're all really good.
I think 1 is probably the best of the 3, but it ages more. I enjoy 2 more, I think, because I think it really looks like it holds up to, like, it looks more advanced because the face effects are really good. I love the plot of the extra, I love the plot of the second one so much. I love the cast, I love the crew, I think 2 is my favourite, but I think 1 is still a better film, if that makes sense, but I like 2 a lot. 3 I think is just, it's like Terminator 3. It's still fine, but it's not as good. It's just PG-ified. It needed more stuff, and there's a lot of behind the scenes problems with that film. Which is why, but I'm glad I got Blade 2, and I'm really excited for Blades to come out in 4K because I really want to see Blade in 4K. I really enjoyed number 2.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Speaking of, I was telling the guys earlier when you left that I got Alita Battle Angel on 4K today because it also has the 3D Blu-ray in it. So eventually, when I get a 4K player, I'll have that in 4K.
I thought you didn't think you had a 4K Blu-ray player.
Not yet, no. But I love my 3D movies, so I love the Blu-ray 3D. So.
Yeah, no,
and they're hard to buy here. So when I saw it was included with the 4K, I had to buy it. So
yeah, I'm excited to watch that as well. It's one of those things where everyone thought it was going to flop, but it's James Cameron. He doesn't make flops. Well, at least he doesn't make bad movies. He doesn't go bad movie to his name, I don't think. So I'm excited to see that at some point. I'll watch that in 4K as well. It's like Bumblebee. I haven't seen that yet, and I want to see
awesome.
Shazam. Those 3 films I know are really good, and I haven't.
I just got Shazam. I just watched it on the weekend. Actually, it's really good. I have it in 3D now too. Anyway,
you like it?
Yeah, it's really good.
But again, if I'm first time watching it, I might as well watch it in 4K. Might as well enjoy it its best. So I gotta, save for Christmas or something when I can buy it properly.
Yeah. And Shane Ackery puts in $2.
Thank you.
Science is effing cool. Love you guys. Thank you very much. We love you too. Yes. And Trekyards and Star Trek are effing cool. Anthony Talarico puts in $5. How do you think Discovery will pick up in season 3? Well, we started this conversation off talking about Discovery, so it's maybe a good thing to get back to now out of Tarantino again.
That was a good discussion, actually, the moralities and stuff. I really enjoyed that as a debate. That was fun.
Yeah. All right, so it's going to pick up in the future, and I think they've already said that apparently that she's going to be separated from the Discovery. They're going to have to find each other, which is cool. And like I said earlier, I think it's going to have a very much of a Andromeda type vibe, where the Federation doesn't exist, or is just a legend, or is very fragmented. Perhaps everybody's been pushed away from the core systems of Earth and stuff because they've been destroyed, perhaps. So like humans are kind of like scattered throughout the quadrants. That's where I think it's going to go. And they got to reestablish the Federation presence, and very Andromeda-like is is the vibe I'm getting from it. So I think that'd be cool.
Yes. Exactly. I think Burnham works much better as a duo and not part of the main cast. I think the main cast. Well, it's funny how Kurtzman keeps making a point of, we haven't revealed who the captain's going to be. It's like, it's going to be Saru. I mean, there's not even a. What do you mean? Or Burnham at the end of the season? Because lol, why not?
Oh.
You know what I mean? There's no question. There's not. It's not part of the equation. Or it's some random new character, and it's like, well, then of course we weren't going to guess that because it's a new character. There's no question. It's not interesting either. But yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to see Discovery come through a wormhole, and for some reason it damaged it. It'd be kind of nice if they retconned that final scene where the ship's completely fine except a few little scorch marks. It comes through. It's like, oh yeah, this was battle damage the entire time. Shit, we're so damaged. Remember from season 2? when we were damaged. Oh no! Like I think that'd be really good to see it be actually damaged, and it's Trump. I think it'll be a very Lost in Space vibe.
Yeah.
Where it'll be because they flew to Iceland. I mean that's one of the other stories is that Iceland, alien landscapes. Only they haven't filmed very much so far. I think a lot of it is going to be these two on the alien landscape, and a lot of it will just be on the soundstage, and they'll meet up later on. So I think they'll save, because I think they're going to make quite a cheap season. I think the budget is going towards Picard and stuff. I think it's going to be I think they're going to announce it's a short season. It's going to be a lot of, because once you're on location, you film a lot on location quite quickly. I think it'll be the main Discovery crew has bottle shows, like either stuck in a nebula or somewhere just stuck, kind of like Year of Hell, where the ship's like falling apart and just trying to survive, and that's the story, and you see them come together and actually be a crew. And then you cut to Burnham trying to escape out of her situation, and then finds a secret, like they're actually not 1,000 years in the future, they're in like 300. Some fun, like, or we're not where we think we are,
or 3,000 years in the future.
Dun, yeah dun. Yeah, well, they've said it's like 3225 or something. And like I said, hopefully a different quadrant. That would really enhance it, I think. Especially when you can have like legacy races like Hirogen and fun things like that. Although I would be fine with it. It's sad, Stuart, if they had actual Klingons in season 1 and 2, and then this season Klingorks come in, that'd be really fun. You'd be like, shit, these are how they evolved. This is a Klingon sect in 2,000 years. Hot damn, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Tick,
Yeah.
But yeah, weird.
Well, Area 51 puts in $5 and says, wouldn't mind seeing the younger Duras sister in a nude scene, provided she didn't smile.
It's a very specific request, I'll be honest.
It is. I have a feeling that you've done a Google search for such things. Hellrats96 puts in $2.
Thank you.
So what does this all mean for Discovery Super AI? Well, that's the missing part of the puzzle. We know that Discovery has basically been waiting. It was ordered to wait for the crew to return, and it sat for 1,000 years, and the AI had a chance to marinate and kind of get super, super great, smart. And yeah, we don't know how that fits in. Like I said, my theory is that they find a way to get the crew back to their own time, but they can't take the ship.
Yeah.
So.
Or the time suit has to open a wormhole, but she can't go back either, and so she ends lost with maybe she falls in love with this guy, so she chooses to stay in the future with this guy, and she gets
maybe Kraft is their kid.
Yeah, I mean I'm not against that. That'd be fine. That'd be fun. Yeah, because I mean you want to end on season 3 because you want to do section 31. You've only got so much mind to spend on cast and crew and stuff. So like I said before, end in season 3, maybe do short treks, bring them back. But I think that's because we've said this finishes, we do section 31. Well, you're not going to do both at the same time. That's just not. You're already doing four shows, plus short treks.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of fun. The crew bands together. She's like, I can't. I found something here, but you guys have each other, but I found something else. She gets them back home. But they leave the ship for her because then because they know that Spore Drive can't be left in the hands of the Federation, because maybe there's Spore tech or whatever has helped ruin the galaxy in their time, and they're like, we can't let the Federation have this tech, and that'd be kind of fun. I mean, I don't know, I'm getting that vibe just in this still, but I like the idea that she falls in love with this guy and stays in the future with him and sends the rest of her people back, and then it's not this weird selfless end. That makes no sense. It kind of reverses it, but in a nice way.
Yeah.
Kind of like what a Quantum Leap guy didn't get,
Exactly.
It's just sort of send them back, and then they're fine, and then she's fine. Yeah.
Laughable Larry puts in $5. Another $5. Thank you very much, Laughable Larry. You guys are amazing. Best Trek channel on YouTube, no matter what they say. Who's they?
Yeah.
And what do they say? Just don't listen to them. Because we know we're awesome. You know we're awesome. That's all that matters.
Thank you. Yeah. Although Devro77X says TNG really picked up in the 3rd season.
It did.
It's funny now, we were watching season 1, and it's not as bad as people realise if you actually watch it. And I think so a lot of it's still better than Discovery season 1 or 2, which says something. for intelligent storytelling and la la la. So it's definitely, you know, I mean, being the worst season of TNG is not an insult, you know. If that's the worst thing you can say, you know. Yeah. But I guess, guys, we're almost finished. I think we'll probably go for the 2 hours. So we've got 14 minutes left. So if you want to jump back to Tarantino for a minute, I mean, the thumbnails both, obviously. But, you know, guys, if you want to super chat any sort of last conversation topics, last pieces, last questions for us, we'd love to get like another $20. We've done great. This one, really helpful. And also, we've got Vegas coming up really, really soon. We're flying out, you said, on Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday. 30th.
And then I'll see you 2 hours after you land. Hopefully both our flights aren't delayed, whatever. And I'll be like, hey, Stuart, like, hey, Sam. And then we'll film that moment, be like, oh, back again. And then we'll start that adventure, get some perks off to you guys. Excited to get that done ASAP, out of the way, and you guys get to have your fancy things early. And then we'll embrace Vegas. I've already seen that there's a Star Trek Online panel I want to go to, which is the, you know, the future of Star Trek Online with John Van Sinders, who's doing who's moderating it. Thomas Maroney's on it, Mike, and some other great people. So we should definitely be there for that. It'll be very fun to look at the panelists and be like, right, Stuart, at the biggest Star Trek event in the world, what do you want to go to as me and you to a Star Trek panel? What do you want to go to see? Like, we've never done it before as like attendees, because at Denver we were the panels.
Yeah, we were.
Never at a panel. Just
I don't know. I haven't even looked to see what panels are going to be, but I'm sure we're going to have to sit in a few of them. That's fine. We're there for like every day, so
yeah.
We will. It's not like we have to, you know, jury pick our time, because we're going to have lots of time to do stuff. So
lots of time. And like we said before, do say hi if you see us. Don't think of us as celebrities you can't say hi to. A, we're not celebrities, and B, you can say hi to us. So just come say hi.
Brian McFarlane says, howdy. Will any of the fan film guys, such as Victor Colley, be at Las Vegas? Colley was there last year. He'd probably be there again. Vic's been there for the last 8 years. I was actually just talking to Vic earlier today, and he is looking forward to hanging out with you and I, Samuel, maybe going out for supper or something. So he's going to be there again this year.
Okay.
We got some more super chats. Laughable Larry puts in $20. Wow, thank you. I hope Discovery finally picks up this season. I'm sure it will. I mean, season 2 is a good pickup from season 1, so hopefully they keep the momentum going. I would love to see more than 3 seasons of Discovery if they do it right, but we'll see.
If they find what is Discovery, if they haven't found what they are yet. Season 1 was a mess. Season 2 was based on nostalgia, based on people they've now lost. Although they could easily fix the end of season 2 by saying like they had to go to the future because, you know, Arium knew and Control knew and they had to be there, and so that's why the ship they actually tried to turn it around. You just didn't see that, and they did go through. Like, you could easily retcon that ending to make more sense rather than just, we'll go there because fuck it. We got, just because our families at home don't matter. Stupid ending. But I mean, come on, it was an upwards hill. Upward, you know. Discovery Season 1 was the best in Mirror Universe. Discovery Season 2 was best early with Pike. You know, was it an upward, even if the end bit kind of dipped. But, you know, Season 3 will be better. Guaranteed. Learn lessons. It's good.
Yeah. And Laughable Larry puts in another $20 with no comment. You're crazy, but thank you very much. We appreciate
Laughably wonderful.
And Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $1.99. Will Disco make it back to the 23rd century? I think the crew will.
Yeah.
And even that is, if anything gets back, it'll be the crew, not the ship. If I have a feeling, though, nobody's going to get back. But
I think it depends if they want a season 4. They should end 3, because 3 seasons is the same as TOS. There's no ill, you know. There's no ill respect to only having 3 seasons. That's fine, you know.
I think they'll go for 4 though, to at least match Enterprise.
Yeah. But I just think a nice end, like I said, could be sending the crew home, Burnham stays, everything's happy, great. And then you say, well, before we finish the season, we're going to do 8 short treks with 1 of each of the cast members using the sets before we shut down production. great, perfect. You know, do another year of short treks with the Discovery crew. So they basically are season 4 as short treks, but like really nice character pieces. Perfect. You know, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Brian Johnson says, "What's up, fellow Trekyarders? What's the good word here, and what are we talking about?" Well, you've missed the good chat. We talked about the Tarantino news. We talked about Discovery season 3, and I'm sure we'll get more information on both of these things in Vegas. I would hope. It'd be cool if they said they started production on the Tarantino thing or something, and maybe get a trailer for season 3 of Discovery.
I mean, that's what in a video tomorrow. If he walks on stage, because Picard was last year. That would be an equally good thing this year. Or, bloody hell, J.J. Abrams. I'm doing Star Trek 5!
I'll be sure to bring a bag of rocks, so if J.J. shows up, I have something to... I meant tomatoes.
Frozen tomatoes with grenades in the middle. No.
That just ramped it up.
I mean, I'd love a picture of J.J. Abrams. I'll be honest with you. I'd love a picture of them. At the very least, Force Awakens is a decent film.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier while you were gone too, that I think he did a fine job with The Force Awakens, even though it's kind of a cut and paste of Star Wars. I thought it felt like Star Wars, and I loved it.
I legit think he'll do a really good job with 9, because they know they have to paddle back so much stuff.
Yeah.
Although contrast is so key. When you had a bad film like Star Trek 5, 6 looks better by default, you know? When you have Into Darkness, Beyond looks better by default. When you have Season 1... Season 2 looks better by default. So, Last Jedi, garbage. Season 9, Episode 9 would be like, oh, this is refreshingly... Well, yeah, because he knows how to make a film. Did you see Episode 7? Like, he...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen W. Fat 3, $2. Thanks for the content this week. See ya at Vegas. Oh, he's going to be at Vegas. Stephen, you're going to be at Vegas. Make sure you say hi. Jeff Jacobs puts in $1.99. Pulled over to pay for 150 on Faith of the Heart.
Oh, aww. Goodness.
Well, if I added the pulled over part.
Guys,
do I believe you?
We now have to get 150 likes. We have 188 people watching, 129 likes. So we only need 21 more likes if my math is correct. So click that. If we don't get 150, Jeff is too generous, and he has to be just generous enough. So I want to see a big like spike. Hashtag like spike. You know?
Hashtag like spike. Make sure you hit... Yeah, I was going to say sorry. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. It's simple. It's a little click. That's all you have to do.
But can you hashtag a hashtag? So you hashtag the word hashtag like spike. Does that work? I'm actually going to type that
hashtag
now.
Hashtag like spike?
Yeah. Hashtag. There you go. Hashtag like spike. There you go. In the chat. So I've now logged into an account that actually has a chat feature. I keep... Yeah. 135.
Hashtag smite. Hashtag smash their thumbs up like spike. Yes.
Interesting side comment after you say what you're going to say.
I was just going to read the next super chat, but go ahead.
Side comment. Patrick Pleel again. Sorry about your name. I'm just bad at this. I'd rather set my hopes on The Mandalorian. What are your thoughts on The Mandalorian?
Oh, I am super stoked for The Mandalorian. The footage that was leaked, that was leaked footage for sure. And I know I'm saying leaked this time.
Yes.
Of the Mandalorian footage.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic. I am super stoked for that. I'm really excited. And we should probably cover that at some point for Trekyards.
Yeah. I mean, seeing the model work they did for that, and I love the story of we don't redo models at ILM so much anymore. And then they were in a room with Favreau, and they said, well, let's do miniature for this one thing. And then in the course of the meeting, they suddenly had more people just walk in saying, is this a model? We're doing models? Sat in, and then within like a day or two, they got the entire classic model team that was on like all the best model work of the last 20 years. And then one of the leads then went away and built the ship over like a week in his home garage. He loves models that much, and brought it in, and Favreau was like, holy shit. And they did just absolute good stuff. And Favreau is a class act director. Like, he knows the hell he's doing. I have total confidence in him. It's just more the studio interference, but the fact that he's also working with the guy that's from Clone Wars and heavy knows what he's doing. I think it'll be fun. I don't know if it's something I want to see, in the sense of it might not be a story I like, but I think it'll be super good quality, and I'm excited. I don't know if you heard the story. Well, no, did you watch the panel? You did the yeah.
I did.
They did an open casting call for 501st Stormtroopers, not saying what it was for. They do events all the time with Lucasfilm just as a press. And they turn up on set in Stormtrooper armor, and it's like, the hell's going on here? And Favreau walks out saying, "Oh guys, you're in a Star Wars movie," and they're like, "Oh!" And so 30 or 40 extras, because they, had their own extras, and these guys were fully kitted out. Them have now screen used Mandalorian Stormtrooper armor, and they said for the most part their armor was better than the stunt guy's armor because they put more attention to the detail, and that's amazing. That's absolutely super cool, and that says a whole thing about Favreau and his mentality.
Yeah. And Oddish says, guys, 5 more likes. Give up your like virginity. Yes, 5 more. Hit the like button. Jarzia puts in $2 Canadian. Love that. The like virginity. But anyway, Eyes on the Road, Jeff. Yes. And Area 51 amazes us with $20 super chat. Thank you very much.
So amazing.
Better. Klingon lady from Search for Spock in a nude scene. That'd be Valeris. Her name is Valeris.
No.
Her teeth were impeccable.
Search for Spock is not Valeris. Valeris is Star Trek 6.
Say again.
Veltress.
Valtris. Yes. Sorry.
Valeris is 6.
And it was a V and a tris.
So close.
Sorry.
Also, just for you.
Yeah. Valkris.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, her teeth were impeccable. We'll need time travel to bring her to 2019 from the early 80s, but I have a machine for that in one of my hangars. # let it ride in Vegas. Area 51, we need to come visit you while we're there, because we'll be in Nevada. Come and pick us up. We would love to see this time machine, perhaps, get an alien or something.
I've talked about why I do time travel and how I'd go back and film TOS, and we can do a lot with it if you wanna commit. And her name was Kathy Sheriff.
Yes.
And she looks nothing like it now.
No.
And she's 71, Toronto.
She lives in Toronto.
Well, she's from Toronto. Although only 6 credits to her name.
Wow.
Or to be fair, Star Trek 3, Taxi, and Wonder Woman are pretty decent roles to have. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Wow.
All right. Well, that was a good super chat to kind of finish off the stream on.
Tremendous.
I think $20
and 151 likes. So we made Jeff an honourable man. Awesome. So yeah. And so I guess, guys, we'll see you in Vegas, and you'll still see us on both Saturdays with a normal episode of us here, because that's what we do. We never miss a Saturday.
And I just want to say, there's unfortunately going to be no Eagle Moss review or Captain's Log this Friday. I just have not had the time this week, unfortunately, to get one filmed and edited. So I apologize, guys.
Otherwise, if there was, there'd been 4 videos tomorrow. That's quite a lot. So I think the 2 that I've edited is enough. With the.
Well, that's good. Yeah, it's good that I didn't do them then.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff this week. And thanks, guys, for supporting us this week. I think we've had a few comments saying you're really milking it. How can you find this much to talk about? I think you guys will agree. We had a really great, diverse week of topics, of discussions, of theories, and I'm certainly so much more analysed than I would have been if I just watched the trailer by myself. I really appreciate this week, and I think we've uncovered a lot of cool stuff. So go back and watch this week's videos if you want to let into the secrets we've discovered. And like I said, see you in Vegas. And what's your last word, Stuart?
There's another super chat.
What is the last super chat word, Stuart?
Fleet Pass Swiftback, $1.99.
Yes.
And he says,
yes.
There we go. Like spike. Make. What? MFSP. I don't know what that means. 151
Swift
likes.
Poor Pack. Yeah. Make Poor Swift Pack pay.
Fleet Pass Swiftback pay. There you go.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
So next time, I'll be talking to you before Vegas, because we got to arrange what we got to take and stuff. But anyway.
Seriously do. But yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Don't know when, but we'll see you then. Until next time, guys. Wait for him to come back. Wait for Stuart to come back. Come on, internet.
I can hear you fine. I'm back.
Bye, everyone.
There we go. Bye, everybody.